Welcome back, Condors Unleashed, live Bakersfield.com, My45. Do this every Tuesday while we're in town. Now, we're off for a little bit here. Next show is March the 21st. So that means we got to get to a lot of stuff here in the coaches segment. Kevin Bartle, Ryan Holt, Condors Head Coach Gerry Fleming. And again, we're off until March 21st. So that means a lot of weekday games, a lot of travel coming up for this Condors team in the month of March. But Coach, just got off a little bit of a road trip. You go up to Stockton, and a much-needed Condors victory on Saturday night, and the team gets it done against a Stockton team which had been struggling, but you put them away and was able to get the win there at the end.
Yeah, that was a good win for us. I thought our compete level was good. Nicky was there when we needed him to make the saves. Two teams that had a lot of urgency to their game. Both teams were on a little bit of a slide. It was just nice to get the win and for us to get off the slide a little bit, and hopefully we can just build off that and get better and better here.
You're looking at me? Huh.
Yeah, I'm looking at you.
Well, I want to ask you about the guy who's on the show tonight.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I do appreciate
I moved
that,
away
yeah.
from
I
that.
really do appreciate
Sorry.
it. He's sick. He's
Yeah,
sick.
he's sick, so he stayed far.
It's a
he's
head
gonna get-
cold, really.
Head cold. He's sick.
Settled into my sinuses
It's working its way down through his chest.
a little bit. It's getting there.
You hurt yourself in that Peterborough game?
Yeah. I went out in the snowstorm with that jacket. I think it's settled into my kidneys.
Ooh, good luck with that.
Yeah, it sounds like you need
Well, we
to just stay
appreciate
over
that,
there.
yeah.
Yeah, we appreciate
Yeah,
you jumping
yeah,
through this
we
one,
do,
though.
yeah.
I want to ask you about the guy who's on the show today, Joey LaLeggia. 11 goals this season. Most of them have come as a left winger. We've completely changed him now. There's no more D next to his name. There's no more D in the bios. He's a full-on left winger. It started as a process of, well, you were too many defensemen and you moved him up front, but then you realized, hey, this might work up front, and he stayed there the rest of the year.
I'll tell you what, kudos to Joey. It's not easy to, playing D your whole career and then moving up to forward. But he had faith, and, he's a good player. He's a smart player. He understood the game, and right now he's probably one of our best forwards, if not our most consistent, that's for sure. We know we're going to get game in and game out. He's really relished the role. We use him on the power play on the back end. He plays big minutes. He's done a magnificent job. And again, it's a true testament to the type of person that Joey is to do that and to really excel in that position, having not played it and learning the position and getting better game in and game out. He's been strong on the forecheck. He's been creative with the puck. He's made good plays and good reads without the puck. So hopefully, he can just get better and better and more confidence as he goes, obviously, and you start to score, your confidence grows, and you just get better at the position.
You cover so much ground as a forward as opposed to as a defenseman. I give him a lot of credit. He seems to have a knack of finding locations to be, like on that goal in Stockton. He just went in, he found a perfect seam. Puljujarvi found him, and he's able to bury it. I mean, how much have you had to work with him, or how much do you work with the forwards in general on trying to find those seams, find those spots on the ice?
What we call it is playing on the inside of other teams' defense. We can win with numbers if we're in the right spot. So, and that's something that we've emphasized from the start of training camp here, winning with numbers, playing on the inside. Even though if you look at that video, they have 5 guys, but Joey's owning the white ice. He's playing on the inside of their defense, and it was a nice play. And if you notice how quick he got it off his stick, that's so important. It's on his stick, it's off his stick. But
Want to dust it off?
No. If you get a goaltender, especially at the NHL, the American Hockey League, time to set and get their pads and get square to the puck, chances 9 times out of 10 they're going to make that save. But he had to follow the pass out. He didn't have time to get set. Joey got it off his stick and on his stick and found that quiet area in the net.
Condors with a big win over Stockton, 3 points out of a playoff spot. Tucson right there, Texas right there. An exciting time of the year, and other teams have struggled here as of late, but you get going here on a little bit of a run, this thing's going to get really exciting here down the stretch.
Yeah, I think so. And I think it's good for the fans because all the teams that are fighting for that, for all intensive purposes, that one spot, that fourth spot, if you, like you said, if you get on a run here and you get on a little bit of roll and you get going, but for the fans, it makes for good, entertaining hockey. You get teams in here, and a lot of those teams that are coming in to play us are teams that we're fighting for that playoff spot. They're all interdivision games. They're all 4-point games. So the real winner at the end of the day is the fan. They get to see a high-intensity playoff-type hockey going into the playoffs.
It always seems you get to this point in the season, you're staring roster changes, right in the face. I mean, you have the NHL trade deadline. You have to worry about clear day rosters. There's a potential of AHL moves like we had last year. How do you keep the guys focused on the game and not worrying about things like that and all the extemporaneous things that go with the end of the season?
Well, you just focus on the process. It's something that we preach all the time. Just don't worry about the things that are in your control. Just focus on the process and what you have to do on a daily basis to make yourself better and to make your teammates better. And if you really, really focus on the here and the now, that stuff is just noise in the background. And if you don't pay attention to the noise, it goes away.
Condors home against Ontario on Friday night. Played the rain tough all year, and then Stockton in town on Saturday. Texas comes into town next Tuesday. That's a big game as well with Texas right there in the hunt for the playoff spot. We talked about it in Holtby's headlines, but you get Jordan Osterley, and we talked about healthy bodies coming back in Edmonton. They're almost at peak health, and hopefully it stays that way because a guy like Osterley can make all the difference on the back end for this team.
Yeah, he was good today in practice, actually. He had good stick, good positioning. Definitely Jordan's ability to skate the puck out of dangerous area is a big asset to any team. So hopefully he can come back with that confidence, and normally there's a little bit of a boost when you come back from the big team. So hopefully it'll translate into good hockey from Jordan, which I'm sure it will.
This decor can have a huge role down the stretch here for this team and limiting scoring opportunities, but also providing some offense. I mean, we've seen great offense out of Osterley this year. Griffin Reinhart seeing an offensive flair to his game here in the second half as well that we maybe hadn't seen in years past.
Yeah, and if we're going to have a push here, you're going to need secondary scoring. You just can't rely on one line or a few guys to score. You're going to need scoring from your defense or offense from your defense, and you're going to need guys that maybe don't get the big minutes that other players do to step up their game and contribute on the offense. It's everybody has to affect the game in a positive way, and I think offense is going to be one of those ways.
How much do you lean on, maybe the leadership in the room here coming down the stretch? Guys like Hamilton, Frazier, Beck, guys who are going to be around in that locker room all the time, to kind of, lead the way here down the stretch, even more so than maybe even the beginning of the season.
Well, yeah, you lean on those guys all the time and throughout the season. And those guys have a lot of pride. They want to make the playoffs. They want to, give themselves to see if they're the best team in the league. And the only way to do that is to get in the playoffs. So there's definitely a lot of factors involved, but I'm pretty confident that the guys will, get it done.
There's an itch. There's an itch down there. They're looking for the playoffs.
I know you're focused on your team down here and everything, but exciting time for the whole organization. The Oilers, in a pretty good playoff spot right now and playing well. There has to be, you're communicating with those guys every day, and there has to be kind of a new enthusiasm here for the stretch drive.
Well, definitely. And, it started with the building this summer, moving into the new building, to start the season, and then getting off to that tremendous start that they got off to. And this is a big road trip for them. There's no doubt about it. They've got Tampa tonight, and then they're in Sunrise tomorrow to face a pretty hot team right now coming off a great road trip. But, yeah, we talk all the time. It's a great time to be a part of the organization. And hopefully they can just continue to move forward here. And it's nice to see guys that have been here contributing up there.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, that at the end of the day, we work for the Edmonton Oilers, and our job is to, promote guys up to the NHL and not only get them there, but, have the longevity to stay there and contribute in a positive way again. So it's nice to see that, and hopefully they can just continue to go like that and get in the playoffs and do some damage.
Yeah, to Gerry's point, we actually just added a page into the program, Condors in the NHL, and this is recent. This is just the last year and a half. The amount of guys that have gone up to the NHL but are also still there. Guys like Zach Kassian, Leon Draisaitl, Lero Pakarinen, Anton Slepyshev. LB starts tonight against Tampa Bay. So very fortunate, I think,
it's cool.
for the last couple of years.
It's
the amount of talent that's
for
been
them,
there.
and it's cool to think that those guys were here.
Yeah.
And you know what, and maybe guys don't do it now, but as you get through your career and you reflect on points and spots in your career, a lot of guys will leave here, I guarantee, with fond memories and a great experience here in Bakersfield. And that's a testament to the community and the people that live here.
All right, we're putting you on the hot seat here because I know Chris, how much time do we have before you yell at me? 2.5. Ooh, all right. Well, we are really going to put you on the hot seat here. All right, here we go. 5 questions for Gerry Fleming. Joey Lalegi is sequestered. He can't hear. You've been everywhere just about, at least in North America. Where's one spot in the world that you haven't been that you really have wanted to go, whether it be in the summer or when you're done coaching or whenever?
Grand Canyon.
Oh,
Yeah.
all right.
Never been to the Grand Canyon?
Nope.
Wow, how about that?
Yeah,
It's right down the road. Summertime trip.
Yeah. The Grand Canyon, and that would be definitely high on the bucket list for sure.
All right, very good.
Yeah, that's just question one. He
That's
gives you
question
question
one.
two.
If you could have one superhero power, what would it be?
To fly.
It'd be really handy at the Grand Canyon.
You sure would. exactly.
Like Gerry the drone just
Yeah,
flying
that's right.
over the top.
Oh, yeah.
What a time you'd have.
Yeah.
It looked like one of those floats at the Macy's Day Parade with my big head just hovering over.
You could go a couple different ways with this one because I think there's probably at least 4 or 5 guys you'll name. But your favorite player growing up, who was it?
There was a lot.
It's a pretty good Habs teams.
Terry O'Reilly actually was one of my favorite because what I loved about Terry O'Reilly is he turned himself into a great hockey player just through sheer work ethic, determination, and will. So I've always respected Bob Gainey, Larry Robinson. There's so many. Guy Lafleur was always one of my favorite guys to watch growing up.
So he's got some Bruins and he's got some Habs in there.
It is.
That's a little strange.
It is a little bit bizarre, but they played against each other so often that I had a mutual respect.
That's true.
For it. And back in the day, those were fantastic games to watch.
Yeah,
and
rivalry.
just the history. Yeah, so definitely those players off those 2 teams from that era would probably be some of the players that I watched and emulated.
All right.
If you had to put one album, CD, whatever, on repeat for a week straight and listen to it, what would it be?
Dark Side of the Moon, Pink Floyd.
Wow, that's great.
He was right out the hop.
Yeah,
with
no
that.
kidding.
Yeah.
Are you also watching the movie? What's the Follow the Yellow Brick Road movie?
Oh, I don't know what you're talking about.
Which one's that?
Wizard of Oz?
I've
Do you not know the?
if you play it
watch
backwards.
watch the Wizard of Oz and start the CD or start the album at one point.
Yeah.
It like follows the movie.
Yeah, it does.
Allegedly,
Oh,
I've never
allegedly,
done it.
huh?
I haven't done it either, but I've heard that.
Allegedly.
All right. Last question. This one, the easy one. Favorite color?
Blue.
There we go.
That was easy.
Yeah.
That doesn't count. Does that
counts.
really count?
Well, do you have
That's
another one? Do you have another one? Because we're out of time. Do you have another one?
I got no time.
You have another one?
See, that's it.
Yeah. Gerry, we
Always a
appreciate
pleasure,
it.
boys. Oh, yeah, well, just we'll pretend.
Yeah.
I don't want to get too
He's diseased over
And
there.
hey,
Quarantine.
yes, and he was respectful. He stayed away from.
I was trying.
appreciate
I was
that.
trying.
Thank you
appreciate
very
it.
much.
He's Condors Head Coach Gerry Fleming. When we come back, Joey LaLeggia will join us at Condors Winger. We'll also talk with Matt Riley, who will come on and make some picks. I'm winning. I'm winning for the first time.
Barely.
We got 2 weeks left. See if I can hang on. We'll step out, take a break. More with Condors Unleashed when we come back. Bakersfield.com, My45.